Taurus, let's get into this week. All right, you better chill out. Let's get into this weekly reading for February 23rd, 2026. Mercury, we're still in the shadow of Mercury retrograde. We are obviously in Pisces season. And are you all feeling the energy? Are you all feeling the revelations? Child, I done had some revelations today. It's been lit. Some doors have closed. Some doors have opened. And you know what? I'm wishing the same for you. Because wow, the energy has been really, really incroyable. So let's get into this reading and see what the week ahead has for us, okay? So what's the overall theme of this week? Of course, when we have Mercury retrograde, right? It's a time of rethinking, reimagining our connections to communication, to our commerce, right? To our computers. You might find yourself going on a short trip because Mercury does have to do with travel. Now, here's the thing. Even though we are in this retrograde time, which for me is typically a time to actually slow down, this is an interesting week of energy shifting. We start the week with the Knight of Swords. Oh, and this is exactly what I experienced. So when I talked about new ideas, new breakthroughs, new thoughts, and these feelings, at least for me, came from a very deep emotional place because of Pisces and the revelations I had today about treatment. I was able to just quickly be like, oh, that's what that is. That's da 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 da, and quickly shift to something else. So that is the energy of this week with this Knight of Swords, shifting your thoughts really quickly. And it's Mercury, right? This is a Mercury retrograde type or Mercury retrograde influenced reading, and Mercury is associated with the sign of Gemini, air, and so swords is air. It is the realm of thoughts. I'm feeling like this is if I was to start giving themes of the week, the theme of this week would be gosh, I had it and I lost it that quick. Not individuation, but what I'm hearing is self-awareness. Self-awareness leads to rapid change. And self-worth. Self-worth. Oh, that makes so much sense because we have the Pisces energy, which is about emotions. It's about worth. It's about intuition. And then we have Mercury again, which is about thoughts and ideas. And what's making me think about this self-worth is because this Nine of Pentacles, which typically is about taking stock, to me, of what we have harvested, what seeds we've planted, and really looking over the fruits of our labor. Then we have the Star card. Then we end the week with the Fool. This is a good week, again, to self-reflect on self-worth and how you feel about the seeds you're planting and what you've harvested. Not me matching the card, not me matching the pentacles. And with this star card, this can be a card of healing after an illness. The stars represent the chakras. This could be in a revelation that perhaps things were not as dark, as dire as you have perceived them to be. Perhaps there's something in the psyche, in the imagination, in the narrative that you've been telling not just yourself, but other people, and maybe that perception has been off. And if you have that aha moment, then we have the Fool card here, which is about taking a leap of faith. So perhaps seeing things differently will give you the courage to take a leap of faith. It's interesting because we have Sagittarius sitting right on the top of the deck. Of course, Sagittarius has to do with exploration, but see what it says here? I see. I see. And what are we seeing? What are we seeing? I mean, I've talked about it, but what are we seeing this week? What are we seeing? Wow. A way to become whole again. We have a conjunction here. A way to become whole again. Perhaps you've been separating, and this is a week of integration once you have this new awareness, which could be linked to material possessions, because the second card we have here is Pentacles. Maybe there's, for other people, maybe there's a lightning, like maybe you get a new job, maybe you just got a new job, maybe you'll get a word about a new job, and that will make you feel new again. That'll make you feel like you can take some risks, because it's hard to take risks when we don't have what we want coming in financially, right? Like, let's just be honest. And so maybe with that, you could see a new way of doing things, or you could see, again, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel because you got that job, or you're in line for that job, or you got that promotion, or you see some things shifting in your world. It's Mercury, so I feel like it's close to home. I don't feel like it's global. What else? You know, this Eight of Swords was sitting here under all the other decks, which has to do with feeling trapped. What do you have to say about feeling trapped for the people who watch this video, who may be feeling trapped right now? Oh, interesting. Okay. This feeling trapped is telling us something about the void. The void is a place of nothingness, or so it would seem. What do you want to tell us about what's being percolated in the void is the question I'm feeling. Creation. So perhaps instead of, again, looking at things and feeling trapped, perhaps again, there's a new way to look at your situation. That's the guidance here. We're being guided to look at things differently, looking for the light at the end of the tunnel, recognizing the light at the end of the tunnel. This is not a card of wanting. This is a card of taking stock. Taking stock of what is, the void Also puts me in the mind of planting seeds. So we're in winter now, so even though it feels like everything is frozen, we know that things are being created under the dirt. Last card, what can you tell us about what's being created? 10 of Swords in reverse. Again, a very dramatic card. When tens are always going to be the end of a cycle. What I'm hearing is, and I got this last week too, this card, tilling the soil for new, better ideas to be planted is what I'm hearing. I need to double check with Spirit as always to see if I am on the right track. We have the 4 of Cups, which is a maybe. So if that's not right, if the soil isn't being tilled, the mental soil, what's going on with the void? I got the World. Does the world, okay, is the world shifting so that we can catch up to it? Is the world shifting? And I'll explain what I mean by that. We got the Ace of Swords. This is a yes. It was in reverse. So there's a delay here. There's a block here. So what does this mean? Does the world need to adjust? Sometimes we are ahead of the manifestation we want. We're ahead of the visions we see for the future, the visions we see in our mind. And so perhaps this is why they're saying to look at things differently, because sometimes things have to be just right for things to grow, just like you have to have the right soil for a plant to grow. And they're saying not much longer. And that's why the 10 of Swords is in reverse, because it's in reverse, so the swords are falling out. But they're saying that once the swords fall out, don't put the swords back in again, because it is the end of the cycle. 10 of Swords was in reverse. But, again, you may not see, you see this person's blindfolded, but they're loosely tied. They could unloose themselves at any time. Do they need to step into the void? Come into the void and see what's there. See what's being created. Oh, I see. A good week for journaling. We got the Ace of Pentacles, which is a nice yes. Step into the void and see what's there. Maybe doing some meditation on your thoughts this week, how you're feeling, your ideas, long-held beliefs that you would like to see gone, because we have a lot of swords here. We've got a lot of swords. So, yeah, I feel like that's it. Perhaps if you made it this far, if there's a sword emoji, put it in the chat, all right? Show people how cute you are. I know you're the most handsome boy. Yes. I'm Zoe. This is Prince. We'll see you soon. Bye.